And we're live, right, Jacob?
And we're live. Yes, Lonely Mark's back. Talking some wrestling. It's nice to be back. I've been gone for a few weeks doing comedy.
He's
And
been
actually,
making people laugh. You know what I'm saying? That's an important thing, everywhere. And that's what he's hearing every night in front of the crowds, right?
sometimes not that many. Sometimes
Okay.
our audience is small but
A
mighty.
light chuckle.
A light chuckle, yes.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's still a fun time. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it. So unfortunately, JPO will not be joining us. But I am joined by two of my fellow Lonely Marks. Richie is joining us. Richie, how's it going?
Yeah, no, going all right, man. Just So talk about a big, big weekend of wrestling. One show better than the other by quite a bit. We'll find out which one.
Mm-hmm. And also, Pez is here. Pez, how's it going?
Hey, man, always a pleasure to be on here. Yeah, we missed you, buddy. So good to have you back this week. And yeah, we'll have a good time. Got a lot to talk about. So it was a busy weekend of wrestling, and yeah, we got some news, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the fantasy update as well because that was a big AEW pay per view. A lot of people on that show, so I have no idea where the points are at now, Jacob. So hopefully you can help us out with that because I have no idea. Yeah, because we all had a lot of roster people on that show. There's quite a few people on that lineup there.
We did, and I was tempted since the pre-show was actually a collision, and it was on TNT, and it technically seemed to be to me that it was its own show to give myself main event points for Willow, but I didn't, just to keep it fair, just to keep it consistent, because it was a pre-show. Let's be honest. But yeah, no, big pay-per-view for a lot of people. JPO might have had a good week as he was after All Out. He had 160 from the pay-per-view.
Wow, yeah, because he had Chris won the title, Paige retained his title, Darby won, Brody retained his title with Bandito, right? So yeah, no, he had some solid stuff there. Yeah, and then a lot of people just on the show in general.
All right, Pez 135.
Hey, sweet.
Yeah, you had a lot of people. Yeah, you had a surprise. I think a surprise win. For most everybody but me, with John Moxley beating Darby. We'll talk about how when we get to our review. Yeah, then you had a lot of wins. You had a lot of people in title matches.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody but the Beast Mortos was on the show, so that.
Well, I had Beast and Roddy on the Dynamite before, so I at least had them on TV this week, or the week before or whatever. So I was fine with that.
And then Roddy and Kyle ended up getting
the collision,
the pre-show match randomly, but against the Frat House. So I'm pretty sure even if we did predict that, nobody was picking the Frat House.
Nobody's picking the guys who show up. Yeah, who showed up for one pre-show every 6 months. Yeah, nobody's picking them anyways.
Sorry, Hologram's first AEW loss is not coming on the pre-show against the Frat House.
No, it'll just be on Dynamite next week when he faces Kyle Fletcher. That'll be his first loss.
Yeah, that'll be his first loss. Yeah.
Or will it?
It will.
I kind of say it's almost like a
Hologram wins via DQ. Kyle keeps the title. Hologram keeps his undefeated streak, and we push the story further. But back to fantasy. So 135 for you, Pez. Richie not far behind with 130. Again, get a lot of people in title matches. A lot of people winning. Again, Kyle O'Reilly getting that surprise match on the pre-show. Kyle Fletcher in the main event. So of course, getting those main event bonus points.
Mark Briscoe beat
Mark
MJF.
Briscoe,
So
yeah.
Which I was the only one who predicted that, so I didn't get any fantasy points for that, but I was the only one who predicted that, so I got a prediction point out of that. So that was all right.
Yeah, that was one where I went with who I thought was going to win, but also I'm not surprised that it didn't go that way.
Yeah,
I think Mark did need, and we'll talk about it when we do our review. But yeah, I think Mark needed that big win. I think this was it.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, no, I unfortunately, my tag team situation is not great. Half my roster was on the pre-show.
Hey, you could potentially fix that this week with 2 other potential tag teams in the mix right now, Jacob.
Yes,
so that's very tempting. I'm just putting it out there for you.
I think I'm going to pick one that is more for sure than the other.
Yeah. I'm just saying, there's 2 on the table at least. I mean, we'll talk about it, but
there is.
yeah.
And yeah, Alex Windsor hasn't popped up in a few weeks, so I'm not going to drop spoilers. I'm not going to drop her yet. I want to kind of see what happens, especially with the women's tag titles. We'll talk about that too, I'm sure, because that was announced on Dynamite. But yeah,
that might at least make more women showing up in general, on the shows with the women's tag titles, at least just in tag team matches. So at least getting, more potential ladies screen time, for what it is.
I just hope it doesn't turn into Chris Statlander and Harley Cameron winning. JPO doesn't need more points.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll have Tony and Mercedes win the tag titles. That'd be good. Mercedes can have 10 belts.
I only ended up with 110 after All Out. I will say this: JPO has kind of taken a decent lead coming out of Dynamite, because unfortunately, Pez.
Oh no!
None of your guys wrestled on Dynamite.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about AEW is they were like all on the pay-per-view, most of them, but like hardly anybody on Dynamite because they were all in like promo segments and stuff and just hanging around. Yeah.
Right. And meanwhile, oh shoot, I need to give no. I gave Claudio just points for being in a match when he actually won the match, so JPO is actually getting 5 more points.
Oh man.
Yeah, Claudio wins. Page defends his title in an open challenge. Brody King defended his title, and Chris Statlander defended her title in the main event. So yeah, JPO picking up 85 points or 90 points, 90 points for Dynamite. Richie picking up 20.
Yeah,
Mark Briscoe picking up a win. Gates of Agony in the title match.
Yeah, Gates of Agony. That's what I did. Yeah.
And I ended up picking up 30 for Bandito retaining, and then Okada and Powerhouse were both in the match. So after that, I'm still in last place by a considerable margin. I only have 550 points, 70 points behind the third place, Richie, who is at 620, who is 135 points behind Pez, sitting in second at 755. And then JPO, jumping out to a lead after a big week with 820.
Oh wow!
So
wow, that was a big swing just between for 1 week. That could happen with AEW, man. Yeah, depending on who gets the screen time that week. So yeah, that's a big swing.
And I am so thankful that I won the AEW predictions, and I'm so glad we added that if you win the predictions instead of
get an extra roster
spot, get an extra roster spot. So I've had 5 drops available to me so far.
Yeah, I know, because you've already burned 4. So I burned a couple. Yeah, so because you had to burn Swerve, you burned Juice Robinson, and you burned the
I will now be burning the
Was it Will Ospreay you burned?
I wasn't. No, I was just Swerve and
Juice.
JPO had Ospreay, JPO had Ospreay, and
JPO had Ospreay and Nick Wayne, who he dropped because of the foot injury. Yeah. And then I have only used one because I dropped Kenny since he's going to be gone for a little while, and I dropped him for Eddie, which I think is a good swap because I think Eddie.
And I dropped Queen Aminata, which has proven to be a good swap because she hasn't been on shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
So Jacob, yeah, you've got first dibs with if you'd like to make a. I'm sure you're going to make a swap, but what would you like to do? You got a big decision here. What do you
I
do?
do. I am dropping the Outrunners because unfortunately they
For
just have not
your
been
tag team slot.
Unfortunately, just have not been appearing on AEW.
They're starting a faction with Dalton Castle. We're looking forward to. That's a
They would come over to AEW.
That's a faction that I didn't know I wanted, but I now want.
But yeah, no, the Outrunners, I will be dropping them for the newly reunited
The Acclaimed.
Luchasaurus and Jack Perry.
Oh,
Jurassic
you're going to take
Express.
Jurassic. Okay.
I'm taking Jurassic Express.
Okay. You're gonna take Jurassic. I thought you were going to take the Acclaimed. Okay, interesting.
No, because I feel like, I hope this isn't the case for Jurassic Express either, because I think AEW's tag team division needs more tag teams. I don't know if the Acclaimed, like if they'll be like a team right away, or if they'll kind of like do this tag team match and then kind of go their separate ways. Where it's and then the finally it builds to a they both want this sort of thing. Whereas I think the Jurassic Express, I think maybe just more solidified, and being down by 70 points just to third place alone. I want things. I think this is more of a guarantee. So
okay, you think they'll get a push here in the near future for sure. Okay,
I think Wrestle Dream could be Young Bucks and Jurassic Express.
Okay.
So
if Brodito, they're going to hang on to the titles, or is that just going to be a match? Is that what you think, or what?
I hope Brodito hangs on to the titles.
Oh no, I know for your sake, but I mean, like, you just think that's going to be just like a match in general, just a match on the show, like as far as that.
As far as Young Bucks,
Wrestle Dream, yeah, Bucks and Express just
I
on the
think
show.
so. Based off, and I don't know
Yeah,
I don't know what Brodito does at Wrestle Dream. Maybe FTR. Maybe
looks like it's going to be FTR and Jet Speed. Or that might be a TV match.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know who. I don't know where Brodito goes. Maybe.
Yeah.
Because they just beat Gates of Agony, who just beat Her Syndicate. Why would Her Syndicate get another shot right now? Unless they use the excuse they haven't, they didn't get pinned to drop the titles.
Yeah.
And MVP was the one that got pinned in the. Obviously we'll talk about it, but MVP was the one that took the pin.
Yeah.
Technically, Benjamin and Lashley haven't been pinned as a team, so obviously, they can still go that way to get to that match. But yeah, Jurassic. I keep calling it Lucha Express, and it's not the name. Jurassic Express.
Yeah, well, whatever you want to call them, the Jungle Boy Luchasaurus team, Jack Perry thing, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Those two guys, those whatever they end up being called, if they're the same thing, yeah, whatever. So I get it. And it says they're being advertised for that Dynamite 6-year anniversary show next week. So I don't know if they'll match or if they'll just be on the show. I'm not sure yet. So, but they're advertised. So we'll see. All right. Well, that is an official one. So you are back. You got up to 3, and now you're back down to 2 roster slots. Yeah. So that burned your extra, your freebie essentially from the pay-per-view. So we will move to that to up the roster. Richie, you have 2 available. If you'd like to make a swap, would you care to do so?
Yes. I'm just trying to work out which one I drop. I'm thinking I'm going to drop Kyle O'Reilly. And I'm going to pick up Hook.
Okay.
Sam Hook, yeah. Because he's going to be in a tag team with Eddie Kingston as well. So going to be bolstering up that division. And yeah. And Kyle O'Reilly does pick me up points, but sometimes he's not always guaranteed to be on the show. And so, yeah, I think that's a good one. Yeah, so Hook.
All right, so you go from 2 slots down to 1. So you still have 1 in your pocket. And I guess it's on me then because JPO is not here, right? And Jacob, so I would be next on the roster slot. And yes, I'm going to burn one as well because there are some other people options available. And Jacob, I'm going to drop Beast Mortos for Orange Cassidy.
Okay, that doesn't screw up my plans.
Okay, that's fine. I was hoping nobody was going to take Orange because I think Orange. Man, that guy works like a lot when he is on the show. I mean, before he was hurt. I mean, that dude's on at least like every other Dynamite. he's on quite a bit, and he actually gets a decent amount of wins as well. And he gets on most of the pay-per-views. So now that he's officially back, and that's why nobody drafted him initially because we didn't know when he was going to be back. But now that he is officially, obviously I couldn't pick him up before Dynamite, but yeah, I think that guy gets booked pretty damn consistently if history is any indication. And Beast does too, but he doesn't win a lot. I think Orange can get booked just as much, but also get wins. So yeah, and I think the rest of my roster I'm still pretty solid. I was just going to drop Beast because Roddy still gets booked in random matches. So if I want to drop him eventually, I can. He would be my next one, but yeah, I'm going to drop Beast for Orange. So and I'll go down to 1.
Right. And I have been in communication with JPO. He is aware of the standings, and I asked him if he would like to make any roster changes, and he said no.
No, I mean he's in the lead, so he's in good shape. You know what I mean? So you probably told him that he's in first place now. So
I told him everything.
Yeah.
The update.
Okay. Yeah.
We run it back.
Okay.
Because we discussed off screen. You can make multiple drops in 1 week. We just have to go through the order.
You have to go through the order first. Yes, you have to give everybody a chance, which is why, I was curious as to what you were going to go with because I know you considered some of the singles guys as well, but I figured tag team was more of a priority because you don't have any tag team representation right now.
I didn't think either of you would take the tag team, but obviously,
I'm not going to because I have the Young Bucks who get booked a lot, and they've still been consistently working. You know what I mean? They've been on almost every show, or at least still in feuds, and Hurt Syndicate still gets pushed and still wins, they may only work pay-per-views, but they're still around, so I have no problem.
I only really have one tag team, and that's Gates Agony, because I supplemented that for like all the women, but Gates Agony are on TV a lot these days, so I'm kind of happy.
I think they're finally kind of getting pushed in the tag in the division, so yeah, I think they're doing okay. So they're at least getting some TV time. But Jacob, having said that, you have 2 more slots. We are back around to you. If you'd like to make yet another roster drop, you can do so. Because I was going to say, just for anybody watching, there was quite a few like people showing back up, people coming back. Like I said, we just talked about Orange Cassidy. The Acclaimed is still on the table. Pac returned to the pay-per-view. Spoiler alert. Commander is coming back from injury. He gets pushed a lot. He's advertised for Collision, I believe, against Kyle Fletcher. He is back from injury. He gets pushed quite a bit. So, having said all that, Jacob, the floor is yours.
Yes, and I'm gonna. So Shibata apparently, I don't know if it's a storyline injury, but I'll be holding on to him for at least the next week. However, there was a promo that aired on Dynamite. One MJF is taking some time to find himself, and also he just doesn't wrestle that often on Dynamite anyway. But a guy who wrestles a lot and it seems to be getting a little bit of a push is getting a title match next week. I will be dropping MJF for Hologram.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, and he might have this feud with like his alter ego or something that they're like pushing, and this sort of thing. So he'll probably at least be
Hologram. I get both points. No.
All right. I thought you were going to drop Shibata, but I guess you're still going to hang on to all the
I'll hold on. Until there's like some concrete, he's going to be out for this amount of time.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I didn't know if somebody was going to pick up Pac because, you never know. He could get
my issue with Pac is that he's injury prone.
Just injury bug? Yeah, he gets the injury bug like Wardlow. So, yeah, I get it. So, yeah, no, I would be hesitant too. All right. So, I'm assuming, Richie, we're back right. You don't want to do another one.
I didn't want to pick up
for now. You can still got a lot of solid people. Fletcher works. Briscoe works. Alexander is on TV. Garcia is getting matches right now, with the Death Riders. Christian is still involved in big feuds, with Copeland. I mean, I think the only one you would want to is maybe Athena, because Athena is kind of back down into Ring of Honor purgatory. But
yeah, I'm thinking about that. But we'll get. Yeah, we'll.
But if you want to hold off for this week and wait,
I'll hold off for now, and I'll reassess next week. Yeah.
But you still do have two ladies, because you have Jamie Hayter in your wild card spot, so you at least have a second lady along with Tekla. So you at least have two prominent ones to get on TV. So you're at least, you do have regular women representation on your roster.
Yeah.
So you're okay, at least in that aspect. So no, and I'm good as well, Jacob. So no, that'll be my only one for this week is Orange Cassidy. So I think I'm pretty solid. Again, I'm still in second place, and a lot of my people work and get on TV. So I think picking up Orange will boost that up just a slight degree, and I think I'll be good. So yeah. All right. Is that it for today?
I will not be making a third one. No.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want a third one? You want to burn all of them? No.
Hold off. All right. See what happens with Shibata. See what happens if Alex Windsor comes, back on TV, and maybe with this. And this is a good segue into the news.
Mm-hmm.
AEW has announced Tony Khan's important announcement for the week.
Where he rid off a
AEW is
backstage, which is very, very. He's such a promo. It was. Go. You go. Sorry.
AEW is introducing women's tag team titles. Because that's what AEW needs is more
belts, more belts,
more. It's for the women this time, and I think they could use. I think they have enough women. They've got a pretty decent roster of women. The tag team championships make sense. So yeah, didn't get a bracket. Didn't see, they didn't announce if there was going to be a tournament or something, or how they were going to crown these first.
Tony loves his tournaments, so don't be surprised if there's a little mini tag team tournament.
They didn't even say when it was. They just said soon.
Or if there's or if they'll do something like they did with Takeshita and Okada, do like a qualifying thing for like the pay-per-view, maybe even just do 2 matches, have one tag team versus another tag team, the winner that goes to the pay-per-view, and another match, another tag team versus another tag team, winner goes to the pay-per-view. Maybe they have a pay-per-view match at Wrestle Dream, to crown the first. I would imagine they're probably going to crown the first ones at Wrestle Dream, if I would imagine so.
That would make sense.
That makes sense, right? Yeah.
That's not till October.
Because I would not burn that just on free TV. Yes, announce it this week. Maybe start to announce some of the people that would be participating if there's qualifying mini tournament, whatever the fuck he wants to do, and then have those matches, and then just save it, the crowning for the pay-per-view. That would make sense, and unveil the belt of the pay-per-view. That would make the most sense.
I think it's a way too, and I think Athena will get points there, because I wouldn't be surprised if she teams with Billy Starks, because they're always together. So they'll probably get me TV points there, whether they actually win. That's probably another thing. I don't think there's a favorite necessarily.
I'll say, what other tag teams are there potential? Megan Bain and Penelope Ford, I would imagine, right?
Julia Hart and Sky Blue.
And Jay and Ty Mello.
Okay.
I could see Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa teaming up.
I would say that could be a thing if she's not going to be in straight title contention with Chris Statlander right now. Yeah, if you shift her with Mina, because they have a thing going on, and I wouldn't even be surprised if they were contending for it at the pay-per-view. Honestly, that would be. Just to get some of the bigger stars in there.
If that happens at that point, I might drop Alex Windsor for Mina Shirakawa.
I'd say, wouldn't Tekla tag with somebody maybe in her thing? So
is it? Tekla will be with it could be with one of the people from the. It may be if because it's the whatever the
Triangle of Madness.
Triangle of Madness, but if Julia Hart and Sky Blue are tagging, then she's done it. Because she could always get somebody. I'm pretty sure, doesn't JPO have Mira Shirakawa?
No, JPO has. No, he has Megan Bain and Chris Statlander right now. So yeah, he's got that.
Yeah, Mina Shirakawa is a free agent.
Oh man, come on. Should I actually pick it up?
Shirakawa, might be I just didn't know if she was going to stick around, but it looks like she's going to stick around.
Yes.
For a while. So,
yeah. No, there's a few outfit. Yeah, I think there'll be some like makeshift sort of teams that will probably catch fire as well. You're like, oh, yeah, it worked. Alex Windsor will probably shop there, maybe. Alex Windsor and somebody, I don't know, who you put with them against. Yeah, maybe some people get signed for that. I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure, because I wasn't sure if, like, was it Isla Dawn, like, she showed up in on Collision, like, in Scotland. I don't know if it was like a one-off appearance or if she's going to actually be signed soon. So there's always that. So, yeah, be interesting.
All right. Yeah, we'll see what. Imagine, yeah, they'll start some initial qualifying matches, at least on TV here in the next couple weeks. Yeah, probably leading up to Wrestle Dream. So for sure.
Yeah, I think that was the big news coming out of AEW that wasn't tied to All Out. So like, if some of the fallout of that we can discuss as we get into All Out. But any other?
Well, I mean, yeah, I've got a few things. AJ versus Cena is apparently happening in Perth, Richie, at your Australia Crown Jewel.
Yeah,
AJ and Cena will have one more match. I mean, we speculated that the fans wouldn't mind seeing them go toe to toe again, given that probably some of Cena's better matches over the last 10 years. Were with AJ. That Royal Rumble match and some of those matches that were really good. So that should be a lot of fun. And Cena's been working like extra hard with going back to Super Cena, some of those competitive ones, So I mean, with Cody and whatnot, that second match with Cody.
The Logan Paul match.
Really Logan Paul match, it was really good. So I imagine, AJ is obviously still in great shape and can still do it. So them locking up.
Yeah,
makes sense.
I guess on that point, also today I think it's that pretty much AJ said that he's retiring next year. He said he'll probably go to he'll probably be at WrestleMania, then he'll see. But he said he'll probably stay in WWE, so I'm guessing he'll be an agent or something. So,
he's 48 right now. I mean, he looks great, but he's turning 49 next year, so he's almost that age. And if that dude's been busting his ass for a long time, like literally almost 30 years in the business, right? Because he started in the late 90s, so he's been around for a minute. So he's had a hell of a, and I would imagine, Richie, even if he retired the year or two after that, he might be a Hall of Famer, like a first ballot.
Yeah, he'd be a Hall of Famer, not even just for it wouldn't be just not acknowledging, because obviously now the TNA relationship, not just his contribution to wrestling in general, they do that.
100%. Yeah.
I mean, I wish they could do it with other people. I mean, like would have been cool if like Bobby Roode had more of a career in WWE, then they could do that with a Bobby Roode. But they still do. Just because like there's a lot of people who have contributions to wrestling, but not necessarily have a great run in WWE necessarily. But so there are those people. But AJ has a great run anywhere. So I'd imagine so. We'll talk about the Hall of Fame coming in there soon.
We got an early announcement. At Wrestlepalooza this year.
Yeah.
Really early.
I don't know if Cena. I don't know if it was like it was interesting. So I don't know if Cena Styles was a plan, because Cena put out a tweet saying to Triple H, thanks for being flexible with this, and that he wanted the match, blah blah. So I don't know, because I mean, it makes sense, but I don't know if that was the direction, because I don't know. We'll get to it. That I thought maybe they were going to do another Cena Brock match, but apparently not, which makes it even more baffling. But we'll get to it.
Malcolm's asking about Edge and his contract. I don't see him like leaving just to come back for a Cena match. That's not happening. I just don't see that.
I don't think he's leaving. I'm pretty sure what I read. I think he's doing some. I'm pretty sure he's in pretty sure he's in the Percy Jackson TV show that doing another season, and I think he's going back to do that. And he's coming back. Coming back. So it's just Adam Copeland does this. He'll go away and come back. Go away, come. He's the Roman Reigns of AEW. So
I don't know if AJ will have like a farewell tour like a Cena. Like I think he'll have some more high profile matches, maybe even one more run with a title, or something. But I don't, I don't see him having like a Cena style farewell tour. But I can see him requesting working a few more people of his choice and things like that.
Yeah.
They would give him, that sort of treatment.
They'll probably definitely make people aware of it, like, hey, I'm retiring, and this will be my last match. Like, he's big enough to people. He won't just like have a match and then just disappear. People will know it's his last match. Like when Trish Stratus had her last match, well, at the time it was thought to be the last match, or Lita. So I think that would be the case where it's like he'll announce that he's retiring and such will be his last match, or he'll have his last match will be at this certain day. So fair enough. Like an actual tour is on the horizon.
Yeah, for sure. And then I know I saw something about WWE filing for another Invasion trademark, which makes sense given what happened on NXT. They're definitely setting up for like a TNA versus NXT, and like they might officially do like a Invasion sort of crossover, special
Invasion.
Yeah, NXT's version of Invasion with TNA crossing over, because obviously Mike Santana was big. It'll probably be Mike Santana, Trick Williams, the main event of that one. And then, having a lot of the other, people involved. So some tag team stuff, some women. It's like not Masha Slamovich.
Oh, we'll get to that. Yeah.
Not Masha. Yeah, there's some weird stuff that came out this week. So we'll talk about that. But yeah, Cardona was tooling around the show. Yeah, Kazarian was there. Like they had some people.
Cardona on WWE TV.
Yeah,
I'd love to see JPO's reaction.
Yeah, right.
The Iconics were there.
Yeah.
Iconics.
The Inspiration, you mean?
Inspiration, but I like how like a lot of the TNA guys were exited. It was Matt Cardona, the Inspiration, former Iconics, Steve Macklin, former Steve Cutler, was Eric Young,
former Eric Young.
A few people there. So I don't know. Could be interesting. I am almost 100% sure that NXT people will invade Bound for Glory.
No, they'll keep it going at Bound for Glory, and then it'll culminate like after, because since they invaded NXT, the NXT people will invade Bound for Glory, because isn't that this month or October or whatever? So it's coming up soon. Yeah, in a couple weeks. I could definitely see them getting involved in a big schmoz, in Bound for Glory, and then they'll announce like, all right, we got to settle this. Yeah, Invasion, wherever.
October 12th is Bound for Glory.
They could have a War Games match. I could definitely see a War Games of NXT versus TNA War Games match for sure. Like I think that would make sense, and to have representatives, NXT side. I think we even briefly talked about it. Have like your Trick Williams, your Obafemi, Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, those sort of guys, and then have like a Mike Santana, Matt Cardona, whatever else on the other side, maybe Moose, something like that.
Kazarian, maybe Moose,
and do that as like a main event, but also do undercard, other crossover Invasion matches. So, no, it would make sense. So I could definitely see them doing that for November for sure.
Yeah,
I was really hoping for a Joe Hendry John Cena match this year. Don't think we're getting it.
I don't know. I don't know. Where would Joe Hendry's leave be? Because he's leaving TNA. It'd be weird if he's like, I'm on Team TNA, and then like a month later he's just like, I'm with WWE.
He may not be in the War Games match. He could be in another match just with somebody else.
It would make sense for him to have it fully allegiance to TNA.
I could see like Joe Hendry versus like a Javon Evans or something like that. Just match, some kind of undercard thing. He doesn't have to be in the War Games match per se, because the War Games could skew more towards the people that are a little more physical than him. You know what I mean? So
people are going to be there longer term.
So I would not be surprised if they call it like NXT War Games Invasion or something like that. You know what I mean? Or whatever, something to that degree for November.
Most recent weekend on War Games. So that makes sense.
Makes sense. They officially announced. I mean, it kind of ties into All In, but obviously. Moxley and Darby is not over because they announced an I Quit match for Wrestle Dream. So that's the next stage of their feud. So I predict that match will be stupid violent, even more violent than the
violent, just like the other one. We'll get to. I thought for sure because he came out with a flamethrower. I'm like, are they going to announce an Inferno match?
An Inferno match, yeah. A brimstone match like on the ECW game back in the day.
He also set Moxley on fire. Oh, that was annoying. He set him on fire at the pay-per-view, and then on Dynamite he was fine. No, hey.
Well, it's because somebody was standing by with a fire extinguisher, right? Like,
well, I mean,
ready
those body bags are pretty flame retardant, so he was fine. It just got a little hot for a second.
It just always baffles me how quick somebody comes in with a fire extinguisher. It's like,
yeah, he was right there. I'm like, well, you could have prevented that from happening in the first place. Yeah.
Like, he's like, you think Darby could set him on fire? I'm just gonna, just in case, I'm
just in case, yeah, I'm gonna grab it. I'm not going to try to actually physically stop him from doing it in the first place. We're just going to wait till he actually does it and then put him out.
My issue was
me on fire.
My issue was they were going something's going on backstage, and they cut to backstage and nothing was happening. it was something happened afterwards. It was just like, okay.
They did are you talking about Dynamite or the pay-per-view? Because they did something like that on the pay-per-view. Yeah, I was gonna say that the Jerry Lynn acclaim thing is like, hey, there's a schmoz backstage. Well, not really. It's just people talking in the parking lot. Not really not like a disturbance. Like that'd be like if you just got backstage and guys were having coffee and just talking to each other. It's like, oh my god, what a disturbance! They're debating the new movie that's out in theaters. What the fuck? It's just silly. That was most of the stuff I saw. So unless Richie has anything else, yeah, I mean he could talk about the Masha stuff if he wants to. That's kind of
I mean it's not right yet. So stuff came out about Masha. I think she was dating an independent wrestler, Akira. I don't know if it's not the Akira Death. Is it the Akira Deathmatch guy? I don't think so. Is it? No.
I tried to look him up. I didn't recognize him. But
yeah. So basically, the text messages released that it kind of paint her as a bit of an abuser, and it's legit. Like it doesn't look great with her. She's already been dropped from like regular sort of independent bookings that she's had with promotions, and TNA. They're investigating it, but she went. She was scheduled to face Ash by Elegance for Knockout's title. I think at the next show, and I don't think that's happening anymore. She did put out a statement saying that she apologizes and they'll both talk to each other, she was been going to counseling and stuff. So I don't know. It's a bad situation, but hopefully, I don't know. Police dealt with them. Hopefully they'll be able to deal with this. And I don't know if you see Marsha. Marsha again, or she takes time off. It's a tricky situation, but that's where that is as things stand now. But it's just it was good. Apparently, she might have been leaving TNA anyway because her contract's up, and they didn't know whether she was going to resign. I thought maybe she was going to. It looked like she was also getting earmarked for maybe WWE picking her up, but looks like that's not maybe the case now. But we'll see what happens. It's never like out of the realm possibility, but certainly a bit iffy at the moment. So there's that. That's pretty much. I think everything else has sort of been covered, and I'm pretty sure. There was thought I had something else, but pretty sure that was the only real thing I was gonna bring up. I think that's the kind of the news I had pretty much. So
I didn't have anything. Ryan's talking about they announced a Macho Man biopic. I'm hesitant to talk about any biopics because the Hulk Hogan thing never went anywhere with Chris Hemsworth.
Oh yeah, there was that. Yeah.
And the Vince McMahon thing isn't going anywhere. So like I would be wary of like any of these announcements. They seems like they've announced several wrestling biopics that haven't gone anywhere. So
yeah, that was. If they do, I want get whoever looks like him, right? But get his voice ADR'd by Dan Soder.
Dan Soder, have him ADR. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Right.
So I guess it's like a believe when you see it sort of thing. I think there's also like there's supposed to be Ric Flair one in the works. There's supposed to be a Kurt Angle one talked about. So we'll see. I'll believe when I see a trailer.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
If that's all we have
all
for
I
the
got.
news, I didn't have anything else. But
No, I think the only thing I was thinking of was the Macho Man thing, and but I'm reaching my memory. So
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But no, let's talk some All Out.
Oh wow. Okay.
Pretty decent pay-per-view, I'd say.
Yeah.
Kicking off as always with the pre-show, a little bit different from most of their pre-shows. It wasn't called the buy-in or whatever. It was
the tailgate show or something, tailgate party, whatever it was called.
They were billing it as a collision because it was shown on TNT instead of YouTube. So if people are gonna watch the pay-per-view, they're not gonna decide by what's on the pre-show. So why not?
Yeah.
TNT and get the ratings.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, if you watch pre-show, you guys go ahead. I didn't watch any of the pre-show this time around.
I didn't get a chance to see the pre-show only because I was coming home from work like 30 minutes before the show started and had to pick up some food, so I didn't see any of the pre-show.
I missed the Ops and the Workhorsemen, which was only about a 5-minute match anyway, and the result was never in doubt.
So Workhorsemen won.
The Workhorsemen obviously won. They tapped out Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh yeah.
And then another one, Daniel Garcia defeating Shibata. I don't think that one, especially with the new heel turn and him joining the Death Riders, you're not gonna have his first match be a loss on a pre-show, even if it is to somebody like Shibata. But decent match. They gave him some time, nearly 15 minutes. It was, you had two extremely talented wrestlers involved, so you're gonna get a really, really good match. The trios match, Hologram, Paragon, the Frat House, it went exactly how you're thinking it probably went. The Frat House were the Frat House, and this was basically a squash match. Get another victory under Hologram's belt. 34-0 now. Well, 33-0, 34-0 after Dynamite. And then the Tornado Tailgate Brawl between Harley Cameron, Mina Shirakawa, Queen Aminata, and Willow Nightingale, defeating the team of Megan Bayne, Penelope Ford, and the Sisters of Sin, Julia Hart and Sky Blue. So they must have a different team name under the Triangle of Madness umbrella. I could see them being the first tag team champions. I wouldn't be surprised. But again, it went just how you thought it would. Crowd kind of popped for the faces. I think Harley Cameron is just very entertaining. I love Harley Cameron. Her and Chris Statlander. If Chris Statlander wasn't the spoilers for we've already talked about it though. If she wasn't the women's world champion, I could definitely see Chris Statlander and Harley Cameron being the first tag team champions. But we don't need another double champion. Don't do that. AEW.
Those Australian women are charismatic, aren't they? Tony Storm, the Inspiration, Harley Cameron. Yeah, we know how to. We know how to be charisma. Yeah.
Rhea Ripley on the WWE side, Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
A couple of standouts there. Go on, Grayson Waller. We all love our show. Oh, no.
Yeah, I like Grayson Waller. No.
I know you like Grayson Waller, but he's a geek. Come on,
Then,
let's be honest.
I can't deny he's a geek, but he's my geek.
He was even a geek on the AAA show. He was a geek. I mean, come on. He couldn't even be like legit on the AAA show. He was the geek of that tag team.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that was the pre-show. It was I think AEW puts on good pre-shows. I wish WWE would at least give us a match or something on their pre-shows. I love that this is more of like a back to the Sunday Night Heat days where we're going to preview the show, but we're also going to like give you wrestling matches.
Have like your light heavyweight championship match on Sunday Night Heat or something, or tag team match, some random, something or other. You're gonna see Crash Holly on the pre-show,
Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember when I think it was like Backlash 2001. They just casually mentioned, "Oh, by the way, Jerry Lynn beat Crash Holly for the lightweight championship." Really? Wouldn't mind seeing.
He beat him in 5 minutes and won the title. He was in the company for a month, and then he got hurt and then got fired.
Yeah, because at Judgment Day the next month, he was whinging that he was at WWE New York. He was like, "What?
Yeah.
Was that right?" And he had to go JR. Like, what the
and then in the middle of that run on Raw, he had a hardcore title match with RVD. They had a match in WWE for like 6 minutes. Spent through it. It was bizarre. He had the weirdest run. Man, they dropped the ball on that guy too. Jesus, that went nowhere. Anyways, that was a weird tangent, but yeah. Hey, anybody remember when Lita and Al Snow were the commentators on Sunday Night Heat? That was weird, wasn't it?
I don't remember that. I don't think I watched that.
At one point, it was like Coach and Lita. Then it was like Coach and Al Snow. Then it was like they had the weirdest commentary themes on Heat for a little while during the MTV Heat days.
Yeah, we get into the main card. There's shows coming from Toronto, so naturally you're gonna open it with a bang. We thought this match could close the show, but the opening match is arguably just as important as the main event. You want to start the show off right, so we had Adam Copeland and Christian Cage taking on the team of FTR, and this match, I think it went the way I thought it would. FTR, the Heat being the heels they are, working over, Edge and Christian, Cope and Christian. Sorry,
Adam Copeland and Christian. They did call him Adam Copeland this time around.
Yeah, CNC. Well, I'll call him CNC. The only thing that bothered me about this match was Copeland taking all that punishment, taking the shadow machine or whatever, the multiple big moves. The ring bell, and then
like a spike pile driver, and he still
kicked out, and then one spear finishes.
It was Dash, wasn't it?
Cash.
It was Cash.
It was Cash. One spear finishes Cash. That was my only gripe with the match. Other than that, I thought the match. I think it worked. The debut, or I don't know if it's just a one-off appearance, or if it was, if we're going to see Beth more often, maybe when Copeland returns, maybe they return together, because she finally showed up, taking out Stokely, taking out Stoke, taking him backstage, and I love their promo on Dynamite too.
I was going
to introduce myself.
And I let you carry me backstage.
It was a good promo.
It took a while for he was just like standing there staring at the screen, or staring at the screen. I'm like, okay. I feel like we know it, staring at the screen, and then finally Beth. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's gonna be bad. It's not gonna be.
Yeah.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought this match was good. I thought it was a great way to open the show. Obviously, with the the hometown guys, Copeland and Christian, getting the win. I don't know. I think a lot of us have been like, will Copeland and Christian win the tag team titles? Well, with how often Copeland leaves and comes back, I don't know if that's a possibility. Maybe if they have like a short run before they both decide to hang it up, because they both are getting up there in age, and injuries can come back.
It,
So I think they're
it
both
could be a
lucky to be wrestling.
it could be a Sting Derby situation where they win the titles and retire with the title. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right, something like that. But no, good, decent opener. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the appearance of Beth. Pez, what did you think?
Yeah, no, it was a hot opener. The crowd was into it. They were ready to see their guys. Christian's been way over since he's like been doing like this face run, but he's still kind of a heel. But the crowd's kind of digging it. Yeah, he's still an asshole, but they're kind of enjoying that.
Asshole.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the the promos where he's still going after people's dads and stuff, but Cope like stops him. It's just like no, we're not going there. That's sort of like it's fun. The crowd's still chanting, whoa, won't you be my dad? All that stuff, and he's our asshole, all that kind of stuff. So no, it's fun. Yeah, he was super over. FTR is always great, and yeah, no, it was just a good pretty standard tag match, but they hit a couple of their signature stuff, and then Cope out of nowhere did his John Cena spots, as like a nod to Cena, doing
Johnny
I really
he did like the 5-knuckle shuffle and did an AA, things like that, and the crowd like actually legitimately counted like it could have been a finish, so that was fun. And yeah, no, and the stuff with Beth coming in, they called her Beth Copeland, so that was so they're like, she's not Beth Phoenix, we don't have that, we don't own that. Can't say Beth Phoenix. But yeah, and then obviously they did the post match thing, so there will be something later on. They'll pick that up at some point. So we'll see. Hopefully, Cope's not gone too long filming that Percy Jackson thing or whatever. Hopefully, he'll be back. After a couple weeks. So yeah, no, it was a good opener. Good way to start the show.
Does he have to film on Wednesdays? Can he take Wednesdays off?
Can he just show up once a week? Like, he doesn't have to be on both shows. Yeah, just film on the weekends.
Be on Collision.
Yeah.
Richie, what did you think of the opening?
Yeah, no, I thought it was really good. Yeah, I forgot to mention too, like the opening where they Agent Christian, I'll just call him, runs into Bubba from the Trailer Park Boys.
Oh yeah, that was great too. Yeah,
and then runs into his alter ego, the Green Bastard, the
Green Bastard or something like that. Yeah, it was like a wrestling ego.
That was fun. It was fun. No, the match itself was pretty good in the heat, and I mean the issues I had with it was the same as you, like one spear, it's over, but whatever, that's what it is. I'm not sure where to go from here, what I'm sure Christian will still be shooting with what I guess Kip Sabian. I don't know where where Nick Wayne's like his healing's going, but it'll still be a while. So maybe just fuse with Kip Sabian or somebody. Must be weird for Nick Wayne to like. He's in a heel act with his own mom. Yeah, I know. Is that weird? Like his own mom is like a character. I don't know. It seems a and it, like his own mom's like called Mama Wayne, and she's like, the whole thing is that she's like a, and then like Christian's like, like calling her like, kind of making jokes for her being a slut. Wait, that's just I would say that's just weird. I don't know, maybe, but I don't know. It was a good match. Don't know how much more to add. It was a good way to get the crowd going. I'm glad that they didn't announce when they did the Cena thing. They didn't, outright mention Cena, but they didn't outright go like Michael Cole and like, oh, he's doing a nod to someone else that's completely different to what he's doing a nod for. They're like, oh, that's a nod to someone else. When Michael Cole was like, hey, he's doing a nod to Roman Reigns. No, he's not. Yeah, no, I liked it. I thought it was, I thought it was a good opener, and much more. Pretty good match. And,
Christian and Kip Sabian. I don't know if that's a.
I don't know. That's a
pay
match
I
necessarily.
definitely see it on the Dynamite.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, FTR. After Dynamite might be moving on to Jet Speed, which I think could be a fun match.
Yeah. Oh, something to do with Willow as well. I don't know what Willow.
Yeah, Willow versus Big Stoke.
Yeah.
No.
And if Stokely wins, he gets some hose. I don't know.
No hose. No, our next match saw the return of Eddie Kingston. It's been since I believe they said May of 2024. Yeah, he's back. Looks exactly the same. Did no physics change. He's still
He
Eddie.
had a shirt on saying Claudio sucks egg.
Claudio sucks eggs.
Yeah.
Which I thought Eddie might have been the one to come out during the beatdown on Dynamite, but it was not him. But I hope we get that Eddie Claudio match at some point. Let's do it because Claudio sucks eggs. I'm not just saying that because he beat Powerhouse on Dynamite and took fantasy points away from me. Anyway, Eddie Kingston, Big Bill. Big Bill's looking good. I hope he gets somewhat of a push or at least stays on TV. I think he's doing some good heel work. He did some good heel work in this match. It powered out of a few of Eddie's big moves. But ultimately, Eddie ended up winning with the worst looking of his finishers.
That'll be on Botchamania. Holy crap! Did he miss that one by a mile?
Yeah.
And the Bill still. Why did Bill still sell it? Why didn't he just say like, "Hey, do it again"?
Just do it again.
Yeah.
It's not like they were hurrying for time because the match only lasted just over 7 minutes. And the show didn't go 5 hours, so they had time. But yeah, I think it was decent. I think it was a decent reintroduction to Eddie Kingston. For maybe some fans who finally came around to AEW and aren't as familiar with Eddie Kingston. Post match, I don't like when back-to-back matches have kind of the same thing happening because we saw Beth coming and debuting, and then we saw this match afterwards, Hook coming out and getting involved. But Hook and Eddie Kingston as a tag team, maybe get some more life in that tag team division. I could be down for that, or if they're just friends who have each other's backs, whatever. But and also Big Bill and Ranky, let's use them as a tag team again. But I don't
know why Big Bill and Brian Keith aren't more of a steady tag team. Why wouldn't they be? Like they've already been a tag team. Like they should be in that division, like pretty heavily. Again, I think AEW has plenty of opportunity to have a really strong tag division, but like they've struggled for whatever reason. But like now you have the Acclaimed coming back. You have Jurassic Express. Like there's opportunity there. You could put Eddie Kingston and Hook as a tag team. Yeah, have Brian Keith and Big Bill get featured more. And like even with that, plus the ones you already have, that's like what 10, 12 teams. You could have like that's a really strong tag division. Like you could have plenty. There's plenty there.
They used to have one, and like it's kind of been like the same 6 teams it seems lately.
Yeah. So
when
your current tag team champions are basically a makeshift tag team because the other guy is still hurt, but I mean, it's worked. I mean, chemistry is good. But I mean, that doesn't always work, but luckily this one has, but still your current tag team champions are basically a makeshift tag team that was just put together 2 months ago. So that should tell you what you need to know about the tag division right now.
And I would love a Brodito versus Big Bill, Brian Keith, Big Bill and Brody King going at it. Oh, come on, let's that's a decent Dynamite,
There was
tag
a
team
point
title.
there where Big Bill was getting over as a baby face. So I don't know if they were going to put when I went to AEW, like every time Big Bill tagged in, they were like yeah, and then he tagged out like boo, and every time I think it was Bandito, he was in there in the Bandito get offense on him like boo.
Hey, even Brodito versus Jurassic, because it's a kind of a similar tag team of like a small guy and a big meaty guy. That could be like a fun tag team dynamic if you put those
I would
two
love that.
teams
Yeah,
against each other. That'd be solid as well. So
yeah,
wouldn't mind that at all.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
Richie, what did you think of Eddie Kingston and Big Bill?
I thought it was fine. It was just it was a match. I think Big Bill's gotten better since like when he was first pushed in like WWE. I think his probably WWE release is probably the best thing that's happened to him because he's like got got in better shape. He's just he's shown that he's got talent. He's got like a lot of charisma. I like he's got good just good presence about him, and then just good. He knows how to command the ring, not just by for his size, but he's just got that aura. So I like seeing him, but yeah, I just going in, I just thought this match was random because I thought maybe Eddie Kingston would fight someone who's got more of a feud with, maybe then bring in even though he's not signed necessarily, but I thought maybe like a Gabe Kidd or something like that. But so I thought it was random, but it's always good to see Eddie Kingston, and it was what it was. But I think there's probably an argument to be made that this might be the most man match on the show, including if you there might be one other one for that. That consideration. But yeah, I thought this was all right. But this could have if you hyped up Eddie Kingston's return on a Dynamite and had this match, they'd probably have the same match. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Pez?
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, I thought it could be a nice meaty match, but they didn't get a lot of time, to really kind of dig into that. But yeah, the finish was not great. But yeah, Eddie, I think going forward, he tries hard and he works his ass off. So, I think they'll use him a decent amount. Eddie's theme still slaps. I still like it. His fast walk to the ring while his theme's playing is still good. And Hope's music sucks.
Hope's music sucks. That's what I was going to say. I forgot. That's what I was going to mention. Yeah, I guess that they didn't renew Action Bronson's theme. Action Bronson's theme was great, but no, they didn't. Didn't use it anymore. But Hook's theme doesn't fit him at all. So don't know what it is. Some old timey bullshit.
Yeah, it's like some Frank Sinatra bullshit. Like it's not good. Like I feel I've always felt like your music should kind of match your personality or your style of wrestling or something with your character. You know what I mean? Like Eddie's music is like a kind of fast rap song. It's like intense, and it matches his pace. He walks to the ring with, it's good, gets the crowd going. Osprey's music, the Elevation song, like really works. Yeah, that's great. Okada has his, Omega has his like Japanese sort of, the video gamey music, that works.
Yeah.
Again, most of the time it matches, but I don't know what this Hook bullshit is. He needs to drop that quick, fast, in a hurry and get something else. I don't know what that nonsense is. Yeah, everybody else is kind of, the Hurt Syndicate, is kind of slow and methodical, because they're gonna come in and hurt you, so it works.
But I like how the Young Bucks newish music, how it's like kind of a take on their Succession theme song because they're kind of they were EVPs. So the ding ding the piano stuff, I don't mind that. But yeah, like if it fits your character, I don't mind. But yeah, it just doesn't fit. But Tony's like changed themes in the past. Like Mina Shirakawa came out to a really shit theme, and then halfway through the show he fixed it and changed it back to our old theme. So
Yeah, he monitors Twitter. I know he's all over Twitter. People being like, "What the fuck, dude? Go back to our other music. It's better." Yeah, hopefully, maybe he'll get the idea with Hook and be like, "All right, let's find something else quick. just get something better than this. Anything." So,
Agreed. Yeah, theme songs are important.
yes. Yeah, you hear that, Def Rebel? Theme songs are important.
Yeah,
I think MJF's theme song is pretty good. I think it suits him.
that music's dope. He shouldn't have changed it. That fits his character to a T.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we did not hear it at the end of the table and tax match because Mark Briscoe ended up picking up the victory in our next match. And yeah, I wasn't sure what a tables and tax match was going to be, but apparently it meant tax were going to be all over the ring. And when there wasn't enough tax, they went out and got a bag that had tax in it and used those as well because there weren't enough tax.
We joked during the show, Jacob. I know Richie wasn't there, but we joked that so Briscoe like picked up the bucket, that had the tax in it and hit MJF. And we were like, disqualification. It's just a tables and tax match. That's disqualification.
Not a tables and tax bucket match.
It's not tax and tables and buckets. So that would be funny.
That was the tax on it. That's a loophole because I mean,
but you're still using tax, yeah. So that's fine. Or if you want to use something that has tax stuck to it, that's fine. That's the parameter.
I thought this match was really good. I don't know if we'll see another tables and tax match. I don't know if this is going to be a Mark Briscoe special. Brings it out for the big feuds or something. But oh shoot, Cardinals just scored a touchdown. Sorry, sports.
Sports ball. Boo.
Yeah, no. I picked MJF to win this one, but this is one where I'm not upset to be wrong because I think Mark Briscoe could use that big win and kind of get back on the winning side. And I think this was a great way to do it. I thought the action was really good. The use of the tax, the use of the tables. I think MJF being hesitant to do any big moves where he was landing in the tax, but Mark Briscoe was like, no, I'll do suplexes, I'll do whatever, I'll land in the tax also, as long as I'm hurting you. I think it was a very cool way to show the difference between the two. I love that. Who was it? Was it Remsburg? Was he the ref in this match?
Yeah.
But either way, he had the gloves and the tape and whatnot. And
he had gloves and there was tape over the gloves, he was extra padded up, which it was not a bad idea.
Right.
And he showed a picture on I think Instagram or Twitter or something that his shoe after the match, it was just full on.
I would totally, if I was reffing a match like that, I would just get super work boots, the ones that are extra thick on the bottom, the super thick rubber, kind of almost like elevated shoes. I'd be wearing super work boots to that thing.
I'm not taking any chances.
I'm not taking chances with that. Yeah, I'd be just like Bryce, I'd be wearing knee pads so when you knelt down, you wouldn't get tax on your knees. And then I'd have double work gloves on, you know what I mean? Because I remember Kyoto, even on Chris Van Vliet talked about, I remember seeing that match he did. Remember the Foley Randy Orton match, and they used some of the tax. And remember, even during that match, you could see him go down for a pin at one point. And then after the 2 count, you see him shaking his hand because he got attacked right in his hand, when he hit the pin because he didn't have any gloves on. That would suck. So.
Yeah, we're shuddering at the thought of getting one tack in our hand. They're landing in them on their back.
Right. Mark had some in the back of his head at one point, just sticking out of his head, just a maniac.
Shout out to them putting their bodies on the line for our entertainment, especially when they don't have to. No, I thought this was really good. I do think the right person won, even though I predicted the other way. I do think the right person won. And now it's kind of a MJF cut a promo afterwards that was shown on Dynamite.
It's a fantastic.
Had to go. It was fantastic. It was really good because I liked the promos when MJF isn't yelling at the crowd or getting the cheap heat by insulting the city like this. This was a fantastic promo. And the use of the tack in the arm and then using that as an illustration, I thought was perfect. And then Mark after the match, he's like, "Hey, Don Callis, I got beef with you too. I know I just wrestled the match for 20 minutes and I've got tax in me and whatnot, but I want you guys in 3 days." And it's like, come on, Mark, you don't overdo it. But good match. I know it was only the third match of the show, but like at that point, like this was my favorite match up to that point. Like it was really good and a lot of fun. Pez, what did you think?
Yeah, no, it was very brutal, a lot of fun. Yeah, I appreciate those guys who were super exaggerated on the reactions, because as soon as MJF went to the tax for the first time, it was going to be very, doing the freaking out, shaking, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's always fun. A couple of bumps he took in the tax, but yeah, you figured Briscoe was going to be taking kind of most of the punishment, which is what happened. A couple of back body drops, some other moves, things like that. So yeah, it was good. Yeah, the use of the tables. No, it was a fun kind of plunder match, and got the crowd kind of get some intensity, early in the show. So, it kind of stinks that they tend to have more than one of these like stipulation matches on the show, which I think kills some of the violence later. Because a couple matches later, you got Moxley and Darby doing all the crazy shit that they do. I think it was worse at Forbidden Door when you had like 3 of those types of matches on the show, because then you also had a ladder match. So it's just a lot, of like weaponry, and like you shouldn't have more than 1 or 2 of those on a show, just so you can kind of highlight it a little more. But still, yeah, if you're going to have it, that's fine. So, no, these guys work their ass off. And I picked Briscoe just because I just went with my heart. I figured it was time for him to get a big win. I just thought MJF, he's going to go take his honeymoon. He's going to go do some stuff. He might even be filming that Violent Night movie, for a little while, very soon. Especially if that's going to come out next year. He's probably filming that very shortly. So, I just figured he's probably going to go away for a minute. So why not give Briscoe the win? Let him get a little something. And my logic was he still has the contract. MJF does when he comes back.
Right.
He hasn't used it yet, so he could always just jump right back into the mix, when he comes back.
Right, yeah. I expected this match to go maybe, 10, 12, 13 minutes, but they gave him 20 in the tax. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out. Richie, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought this was really good, really, brutal. I think the right guy won, like you said. Throughout most of the match, MJF had like a bloody patch at the front of his pants that was very distracting the whole match. It definitely looked like something else. But it was really good. And I'm glad that Mark Briscoe got the win here, because I was not sure whether like he was just going to be like this sort of almost like this sort of gatekeeper guy, where like he just never beats the big names, but he's always he's able to wrestle the big names kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I think Mark Briscoe is like deserving of being in that upper echelon position all the time, because he's very entertaining, and you could charismatic as hell, as you can tell on Dynamite as well, when they were definitely going full ham on the Orange Cassidy reveal. It's like, oh, but so I think he's. I think they're both. I think they have good chemistry, both fantastic. Hopefully there's this leads to more like decent big feuds for Mark, and hopefully he can hold like more singles titles down the line too. I think he's good, right?
I'd like to see him get him run, either with the TNT or the Unified title, at least, know something.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be perfectly fine. I think, Briscoe and Takeshita or Okada like going at it could be fun, really underrated. So those types of guys, Kyle Fletcher, obviously. So I'd like to see him mix it up.
Yeah. Shout out to the Seahawks winning on a last field goal as time expired. Let's go.
Go sports teams.
Go, my favorite sports team.
Yes.
Up next, we had the trios match between the Demand, Ricochet, and the Gates of Agony, taking on the Hurt Syndicate, with MVP competing this time. You know how we always play that game where it's like, if anything had to be cut, what would you pick?
I would have cut this for Dynamite.
This could have been a Dynamite main event. I know Eddie Kingston and Big Bill might have been the lesser match, but I think you save Eddie Kingston's return for pay-per-view, so I think you keep that for that moment. But this, I think it was a basic not that I'm saying that's a bad thing, but it was your standard 6-man tag. I think there were some good moves. I think the teams work really well together. I think they have good chemistry. I think all of that was good, but it was there was nothing that's standing out. You know, so no, it was good. I didn't dislike it. Like if I was to rewatch, All Out, I would continue to watch this match as well. I wouldn't like skip it. But it's your standard 6-man tag. Richie, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, it's hard to disagree that if you had to cut something, it should be cut. I will, on the positives, I'll say that for his age, MVP looks good. I was surprised how well he moved. I mean, man, he's because I thought he doesn't wrestle that often, and I thought his last injury was quite like significant. But he looked really good here. I was like, sick. But yeah, other than that, it was just a standard match. I do like it. It's refreshing that Gates Agony won, and they were rewarded for their win by getting a title shot. That's good. They deserve it. They beat like a team with they were former champions. They should get a title shot. It's just a standard fair match. And even MVP said in an interview with Chris Van Vliet, like if they're in a trio scenario, everyone has to eat the pin. It's going to be MVP. Just to predict them. So I always knew that could be a possibility. I'm sure Hurt Syndicate. There has been talk of another member of Hurt Syndicate, so I could see that happening, and then bolstering back up, maybe going for the trios titles without MVP, and MVP just being the manager, because I think he works. He still can go in the ring, but I think he'd probably rather be less physical and just be a manager. He's obviously a really good talker as well. He's a really good interviewer that way as well. Just a very intelligent dude. Go watch his interviews. Just a standard fair match. It was good without being like great. It would be a decent and Dynamite main event. And I think, but Hurt Syndicate will be alright going forward. And I like what they're doing with the Great Gates Agony or the Demand, which I didn't even realize. I forgot that that's what they were called. The three of them. So it's all right.
Yeah, Pez.
Yeah, it was fine. It should have probably been with Dynamite, but the Hurt Syndicate are going to work on pay-per-view. That's what they do. But MVP looked good. For what it was, you can still go. And the Gates of Agony are getting better every week. I think they're actually. I'm glad they're like really kind of getting some time to really shine and kind of get over with the crowd. So I'm enjoying what they're doing. So maybe they can break out, as an actual tag team separate from Ricochet. Not that I don't mind them as like a trio, but they could definitely kind of jump into the tag division as well.
For sure. Our next match was the TBS Championship match. Mercedes Moné and Rio. I think this one. I think this one could have been the lock of the night as far as predictions go. I don't think
it was this or the Eddie Kingston match were both the locks of the
night. Nobody thought Rio was going to come back and win the title, although there was a surprise title change that I think we'll talk about in just a few minutes. But no, say what you want about Mercedes being booked to win all the time. The truth is, she delivers in the ring. I think they do the false finishes. I think they do that really well, but at the same time, it's like you got me once, but it's like, come on, they haven't built anyone up to be that person that's like, oh, I think that's going to be the person to take the belt off Mercedes. Like they just haven't built that person up. I thought Alex Windsor could have been that person, but then they did the one-on-one on a random Dynamite. I still think maybe she could be that person. I don't know. But yeah, it's like I could see Mercedes holding this belt for quite some time. Like she's already, well, I believe she already has the beat Jade's record. No, not quite.
She'll keep it till she breaks Jade's record.
Yeah,
That's
she's at
kind of
488 days. Jade was at 508, so she's about 3 weeks away.
she'll make it probably.
She'll make it Wrestle Dream.
Uh-huh.
But even then, it's like, who are they building up to take that title off her? I don't know. Maybe it's Beth. Beth Copeland is going to be the one to take the belt off of Mercedes. But no, Mercedes great in the ring. Rio great in the ring. The match. I just wish it didn't have like the screwy finish where she distracts the ref and then does that. Like, come on, let's just end the match. Win clean, but still a really good match. And it's only 16 minutes. Like the Mercedes matches that go 20, 25 minutes. I'm like, all right, we're getting a little long. Let's wrap it up. This one, I think, good 16 minutes. I thought that was perfect. Pez, what did you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was still like fast paced and entertaining for what it was. I think just the only thing that killed it was the crowd didn't buy that, Rio was going to beat Mercedes. It just was what it was. And, so that's just, it lacked a little heat in that aspect. But like, I haven't seen much of Rio because I know she was in very early, AEW, but I wasn't watching then. And, again, she comes in for those sporadic appearances, but she reminded me a lot of Io Sky, just running all over the place, jumping off everything, just hitting quick moves, just, very kind of, full of energy and whatnot. So, she was fun to watch, but yeah, no, it was good back and forth in a vacuum for what it was. Just nobody bought that Mercedes was going to lose. So it just is what it is. And I haven't been invested in one of her matches thinking, anybody was really going to beat her, since, her and Tony, so it just is what it is.
Right. Yeah. Richie.
Yeah, I thought potentially, like maybe her when she took on Athena that time, that maybe her or it was like maybe you could still position Willow in that because she's still open in that position to take it, but like yeah, they haven't really done a great job of like building that next person to this is the person to beat it, but because yeah. I think because I was about to say I thought this match was too long, but I think it's just because at some point I became disinterested because I knew like Rio wasn't going to win. I was like the crowd, so I'm like, man, okay, I'm ready for it to end now. Even though yeah, Rio is good, I don't necessarily. I reverence Gail Kim, I don't necessarily. Yeah, I see where she's coming from, but I don't necessarily agree with her comments, but. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. It's just whenever when Mercedes Mania is good, but I want to see a match where like she can win, but I want to see a match where where it's the finish might be in doubt that she might lose, and so I think it's just taking me out of her match sometimes. And I'm like, you're just putting someone out there she hasn't wrestled because it's a new match, whereas opposed to like, you built her up to a point where she could win. I think that there was a point where they were doing that with I think they were doing that with like Britt Baker when she was on her run, or like Thunder. I think it was Britt Baker on her run, where they're just throwing people out there to face her, and there wasn't anybody that credible that could beat her until like Thunder Rosa sort of came around. So I don't know. Maybe it is Britt Baker. Maybe she comes back. So. Yeah, I guess it took me out of the match just because it's just to say I'm over this title run. I guess I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I think once she beats the record, maybe then it'll be like, oh, okay, I can see this person winning, but we'll see what happens after that time comes. I think the same could be said about Okada. It's like, all right, who's going to be that person? It could be Takeshita. It could be, even though Okada did retain his unified championship, taking on Konosuke Takeshita and Mascara Dorada, who, by the way, I think Dorada looked fantastic. I thought this was, up to this point, and up until the main event, match of the night. And if you said it was your favorite match of the night, I wouldn't argue with you. This match was fantastic. I think anytime there were any combination of the two, three, any combination of the two in the ring, Okada and Takeshita, fantastic. Okada, Dorada, fantastic. Takeshita, Dorada, fantastic. The three of them, fantastic. I thought this match flowed really well. I thought it worked. Don Callis on commentary is perfect. I think he's the perfect heel commentator, manager. I thought everything about this worked. Cage match is almost agreeing with me. They do have the main event just a little bit higher based on the votes, but they gave this match a 9.09, which I think it definitely deserves that. I thought it was fantastic. I enjoyed it. I will definitely go back and revisit this one, and it could potentially show up in a best of, or be in consideration for the Lonely Mark awards that we like to do. I thought it was fantastic. Pez, what did you think?
This was really, really good, and yeah, even better than kind of what I thought it was going to be. Yeah, match of the night up until that point. I think they did a perfect job of kind of teasing enough of the Okada, Takeshita stuff that like they had some really good sequences that again coming out of the match, you're like, yeah, I want to see those guys go one-on-one, and they will for sure on a future pay-per-view. There'll be a one-on-one match, so that will happen, and that'll be really, really good. I know Okada will step up for that one. Takesh is just one of the best guys they have right now. He's great. Like almost every one of his matches is like worth watching. And yeah, Mascara looked awesome. Like I haven't even seen much of him, but he got really over with the crowd. They were super into a lot of his dives and things and his energy that he kind of brought and interjected into it. So yeah, really, really fun 3-way match. Didn't go too long. It was like a perfect length. You remember that like Ricochet, Mike Bailey, Okada one they had like a couple of reviews ago where it was like really, really good, but it went like 10 minutes too long. Remember that one?
Yeah, they had to hit. It was with the Omega. Yeah, they had to hit their 30. Omega had to hit 30, and then they went to the finish.
yeah. It was just like, but that was just a little too long, but it was really, really good. This one was like a perfect length. It was just a fast paced 20 minutes, like no dull time. It was just really good. So yeah, good stuff.
It. Richie.
Yeah, no, Mascara Dorado looked amazing. I've been a fan of his since like Grandma Talik and WWE. But yeah, that Hurricane Run spot, the double Hurricane Run spot was amazing. I was like, holy shit, that was fantastic. This guy should get some push. I don't know, but yeah, I thought I'm definitely looking forward to Okada and Takeshita. I think that's going to be a fantastic match, and yeah, this definitely made me want that match more. And I think that match is going to be really big. And I think Takeshi's going to be a big baby face. So yeah, this match is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we move on to the coffin match. Jon Moxley defeating Darby Allin, featuring the return of Pac. Moxley wanted to do it himself. He sent Wheeler Yuta, Marina Shafir, and Claudio back to the back. But Darby starts to get the upper hand. Pac returns. I don't know if I'm just burnt out on these like hardcore matches that get a little too brutal. I think the tables and tax match was a little bit different because it's something we hadn't seen before. But Moxley getting stabbed in the head with a fork every pay-per-view now. Darby taking unnecessary bumps.
How is Darby alive from that border toss?
Right. I don't know.
And he's just like jumping off the top rope and landing on the coffin, just denting it up, just straight on. He's like, I'm just convinced that dude wants to die in the ring. Like he's like, if I'm gonna die, I'm just gonna do it in the ring. Just leave my legacy. And I get worried for his health, like especially now they're doing like an I Quit match. Like, what the hell is Moxley gonna do to this guy in the match? Like, oh my god, I don't know. Like, yeah.
We don't need to stab Moxley in the head with a fork every pay-per-view. Like I'm telling you, there was some really good action, but at the same time it's like, oh, it's another spot that we've seen in every Moxley match, or a spot we've seen in every Darby match. It's like let's do something different. And then the aftermath I thought was stupid. The backstage stuff. It's like oh, I'm gonna set you on fire, and oh, here's a guy with a fire extinguisher, conveniently placed. And first of all, like,
Brian Danielson's gonna hand me a Ziploc bag so I can try to murder you like he
right,
did
that
to
stuff. Like,
me.
oh,
Like, what are we doing, dude? Like,
I'm gonna be unbiased. No, you're not.
I don't need to see the plastic bags come out. And like when the crowd's literally chanting, "This is murder," like just
Right.
stop. Like this is silly. Like there doesn't need to be attempted murder in wrestling. This is ridiculous. Like, yeah, you got MJF like pouring gasoline on like Mark Briscoe, and yeah, and people trying to light each other on fire. Like, enough already. Like, I don't need. You can have a blood feud, that gets violent without like doing literal shit that serial killers do to people when they kill people. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't need like
Look at Swerve and Page.
I don't need stuff,
perfect.
that like drug cartels do to people in real life. Shit like that. I don't need that in my wrestling. I'm fine.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people probably liked it, and I'm not saying they're wrong. I think it's just not for me, and I think it's just getting repetitive. Richie, what did you think?
I mean, I'm like, I guess I'm more into it, but I'm not, I can see what you're saying. I guess I'm sort of over it in the sense of not wanting to see it. It's just more repetitive. It doesn't like it needs to make like if it would mean more if I don't see it all the time. Like I know like if Darby wanted to like do big spots on big pay-per-view matches, that's fine. But he fucking tries to kill himself on a collision. So like. I don't know. But yeah, I thought the match was pretty good, pretty brutal, and I liked it. The finish was interesting, but yeah, the backstage was weird. Where it was like, oh, we got a disturbance, and there's nothing happening. That was a kayfabe shattering thing because they told you that something was going to happen, but like they shouldn't know something's going to happen. But anyway, but yeah, I thought it was good. But I definitely see what you're saying.
Yeah, Pez.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's still like entertaining just because, I think Darby's a good worker, so I like seeing him work and whatnot. And, Moxley, is a pro what he does, but do we need people digging forks into people's earlobes and like, shit like that? It's like I don't need plastic bags on people's heads. I don't need that. Like, if you want to do, a match, it's fine. Because it's a blood feud. But yeah, this I Quit match is coming up. Like, God knows what they're already planning for that match. I'm sure they're already planning just nonsense. So
yeah, Flamethrower will probably be involved.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, he's gonna like spray it right next to his face and then be like, "Quit right now, or I'll light your head on fire." Like it's just gonna be something silly like that.
Light Marina on fire.
Yeah, it's gonna be something silly like that. So
yeah.
And
well, I did think that like I did have a weird thought that like everybody interferes in this thing, including Pac and all that, and I was like, does Darby not have any friends? I guess Darby doesn't have any friends.
No, Sting retired.
Yeah, his thing is only friend, and he retired. He doesn't have the ops. He doesn't have anybody that's his friend. No, nobody whatsoever. Nobody cares about Darby. All right, it's fine.
Yeah.
Just leave him out there.
I feel like the hatred for the Death Riders should outweigh
permeate through the AEW locker room enough for people to like step up and be like, yeah, maybe we should save Darby. But I guess not.
Well, Sting has come back once before since he retired.
He can come back on pay-per-views. He just said he wasn't going to show up on Dynamite. He wasn't going to show up on Dynamite, so that's fine. He never said anything about pay-per-views. Make an appearance. He can make one more appearance before the end. He said this is the last year he's going to put the makeup on. The year's not over yet. He can show up before the end of the year.
Yeah, he can show up with Steve Borden.
The biggest shock of the night, I think. I don't. Did anyone of us see Chris Statlander winning the?
We all had Tony on the predictions.
Yeah.
So none of it. Although we did say, I said it. I know JPO might have said. We all had the dark. We did say the dark horse was Statlander. We said if anybody was
I probably would have agreed with that.
If anybody was going to take it, we said we saw Chris could win it, and then she would be the one that if I had put a different wager on this one, I didn't have either of the other two winning it, but I think we all kind of mentioned that Statlander would have been the dark horse pick for this one for sure. So we at least had an inkling about that.
Yeah, And yeah, I thought this was a good 4-way. I think all 4 women involved are talented wrestlers. Tony Storm, where does she go from here? Maybe the tag team division now that those are introduced. Jamie Hayter, I think, is a good worker. I think she can stick around. Maybe she goes after the TBS. Maybe she's the one they build up to take that off Mercedes. But yeah, no. 4 really good workers. Decent match. I wish it was given a little bit more time. Maybe take a little bit away from some of the other matches. Give them to this one because only about 12 minutes.
I think you could have given 5 minutes of the Mercedes match to this match and they flip flop it a little bit. Have this one go 16, have Mercedes go 11. I think that would have been. You swap those out, it would have been a little better.
It's always weird to me when a match featuring more people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you think the match with 4 people would have had more time than the one-on-one,
right? Just to give more focus on them because I think that's what was missing. I did like the Tekla spot where she was on the rope and then she suplexed, everybody like she's got to have some good legs, but I thought that was a really cool spot. And yeah, I'm another one where I got the prediction wrong, but I'm not upset about that as much as I love Tony Storm as a character. I think Chris Statlander can be just as good. So Pez, your thoughts on the 4-way?
Yeah, no, I'm not really necessarily upset with the thing anyways, because who did she pin? Didn't she pin?
She pinned Tony Storm.
She pinned Tony. That's right. Okay, so I was like, okay, so I mean that could at least set up something for later, another, one-on-one match down the line. But yeah, I think we talked about even how Chris Statlander, like late last year, early this year, was kind of lost in the shuffle. It seemed like she was kind of being, just kind of drifting in the mid card. She didn't really have a lot to do. And they finally kind of given her, some meaty storylines and finally given her another push. And I think she deserves it because she's been working her ass off and, she's been doing her best and having good matches. So, yeah, I mean, it's really so. I mean, we still mentioned that. Was it that street fight she had with Willow was really good, from earlier this year? Yeah. So, Danner stole the show, so she could definitely go. So yeah, I'm not opposed to her getting a little push with the title right now, and Tony can still be in. She'll always be in title contention. She'll always be up near the top of the women's card, up there. So, she will never not be. And yeah, like you said, she could even, they might have even done that so she could team up with Mina and go for the tag titles, you know what I mean? And let Chris just have a little run, here with the actual singles title. So that's very possible. But yeah, I mean, it was good for what it was. Yeah, I wish it got a few more minutes.
Yeah. Richie?
Yeah, for the better women on the roster, had a really good match. I mean, I always thought there was a possibility considering the Fatal 4-way the champion didn't have to be involved in the pin, but surprisingly she was. I was feeling the throne between Tony and Statlander. So yeah, I mean, I'm not upset that Statlander won. I think she's really good. I could see her so I don't know whether she'd get into a proper feud with Marina Shafir, but it looks like there's some Death Riders thing going on. So maybe as they want to do because they're seems like Death Riders are just doing actual criminal things. That they do kidnap people too. Maybe they kidnap Harley Cameron to get something out of her. I don't know because they just that's what they do. I was looking forward to what the Death Riders do. Maybe they're just hey, if Marina Shafir beats you at the pay per view, you just have to join Death Riders. I don't know, but yeah, Tony Storm will be all right. She's a huge stuff. She's. This character's elevated her to be a major player, so she'll always be up and around the mix. So yeah, solid match. Could have got more time, like you said, but yeah, I'm happy for Chris.
Yeah, we followed up one 4-way with another 4-way. This time a 4-way tag team ladder match. And again, your typical multi-team, multi-person ladder match for AEW, but I'm not saying that in a bad way because they're always awesome. They're always filled with spots that make you go, oh my gosh, and spots that make you go, oh. And I think this one there were quite a few times where I thought, oh, are they going to go with that team? Oh, are they going to go with that team? Where I think every team, because anything can happen in a ladder match. I think Brodito had their spots, the Young Bucks had their spots, Alexander and Hechicero had their spots. Jet Speed looked awesome. I thought every team was able to shine. I thought it was great. I thought the aftermath with Jack Perry returning, and then the reformation of Jurassic Express, I thought was really good and unexpected, considering he just returned his kill switch not that long ago. So could this be a split personality thing where he competes as both Kill Switch and Luchasaurus? No, I doubt it. But no, I thought this was really good, and the fact that they put this right before the main event, I thought could be a little a little risky, given how much the crowd gets into these ladder matches. But yeah, no, Brodito ends up retaining. I was worried there for a moment. I was like, oh, it is going to be the Young Bucks, which I wouldn't have been opposed to. They've been doing some really good work as of late since losing their EVP status, and they're just a really good tag team. But I think Brodito, let them continue to run with the titles. I don't know who they're going to drop them to, but they're a fun makeshift tag team that really works. Richie, what did you think of the 4-way?
Yeah, no, really good. It sounded AEW fair. I don't know how Mike Bailey doesn't have broken feet at this point. That fucking that the flip he does finisher he doing the ladder. You know what I'm saying? Like, wear shoes sometimes, man. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna watch him break his foot one day.
Right.
It's like,
my girlfriend came over during, I think it was during the last match, and then we were watching this one, and she was like, that guy's not wearing, and she's not a wrestling fan, but she was like, that guy's not wearing shoes? How can he do that?
Yeah, Ultimate Weapon. When he does the Ultimate Weapon, and just like he's gonna have shoddy knees when he's older. Brian Danielson was also being the voice of reason on commentary, like telling people, go up and get the belts when he's that was spot.
Bandito was like going to do the destroyer or whatever, and he was literally, his head was higher than the belts. And he was right in front of them, and Danielson was just like, reach back and grab the damn belt. So what are you doing?
That would have been a great finish if he grabbed the belt and then did the move. Like, that would have been.
Because he was literally like, all he had to do was like turn around, and he could have grabbed him right there. So yeah, I do see the point of that, but at least they didn't do too many of the super slow motion climbing the ladders. Like most of the time when the Bucks were going for it, they would like scurry up there fairly quickly, and just somebody would I like that they let everybody beat the shit out of each other, and then they just ran to the middle of the ring and tried to do the tried to grab it really quick and whatnot. And it seemed like somebody was watching the TLC match from WrestleMania, because they also did like a 4 corner like table thing, almost exactly the same. Remember like how there was like a table break over here, and then they cut over here, and somebody did a dive over there, and then whatever, and then like the tombstone and the ladder, stuff like that. So it seemed like they were trying to kind of copy that a little bit, but yeah, no, it was a wild, crazy match with a fun finish. So yeah, that would be one I'd go back to.
I like how Don Callis goes to Brian Danielson. Have you ever been in the ring with someone like Hechicero? And Brian Danielson goes, I've been in the ring with Hechicero. He's like, oh.
Brian Danielson in his career has probably wrestled just about everybody at some point or another.
I've wrestled a lot of people.
He's like, I've wrestled just about everybody you could possibly wrestle when you include the Indies. Yeah.
Good match. And the Jack Perry thing, the cool thing is cool. I think that they assume you watch stuff though, because the breakout of those things that happen, like it starts happening on Being the Elite. So well, why are they all of a sudden? Why is Jack Perry all of a sudden on the outs with the Young Bucks? But yeah, I think it's just they kind of was they're building it up on like, because they brought it back Being the Elite. It's like but like not everyone watches this stuff, but it was still a cool visual cool thing. And yeah, it's probably a good thing to do because build up the tag division, and also Jack Perry probably wasn't going to be doing a lot. So I don't know. I think it's a good for both the Luchasaurus and Jack Perry at this point.
Yeah, Pez, you got any?
No, I mean, I kind of say, yeah. I mean, I would go back and watch it again. It was definitely like a fun, like anytime you get these guys who are really good in a ladder match, it's going to be wild and crazy, for what it was. I'm just glad nobody bled in this match. We had enough blood already throughout the show. I was fine without the blood.
Yeah.
Same with the main event.
Yeah, the main event. Hangman Adam Page retaining his title over Kyle Fletcher in nearly a 40-minute match going head-to-head with Brock Lesnar and John Cena at WrestlePalooza. No, I had the dual screens going at this time. I had All Out was on the TV. WrestlePalooza was on my laptop, but I was more focused on.
You need to do the redneck thing. Put one TV on top of another TV and just have both going at the same time. Yeah.
But no, this main event was really good. I think my gripe with this one is that I think we were too late into the match to do the counter after counter after counter. I think we were a little too late into the match because I don't believe that. I think these two should be pretty beat up at this point. Hangman has taken a lot of damage. Fletcher has taken a lot of damage. We are 35 minutes into this match. Why are we all countering everything? But no, I think the Ospreay feud may have made Fletcher a star. I think this one solidified it. Like, he is here to stay. Like, this was fantastic. This was a great way to end the show. I'm so glad this was the main event and not the tag match, because while the tag match was good and sure it would have had that hometown feel to it, I think this match just it ruled. It delivered. I think I still prefer the three-way unified over it, just because it was a quick 20-minute fast-paced match, and this one, like I said, just the counter after counter that late into the match just kind of I wasn't a big fan of it, but still fantastic. Another one where I think this could be a potential match of the year candidate, at least in that discussion. So yeah, great way to end the show. I was half expecting MJF to come out with this contract, but no, didn't happen.
Oh, he can't though.
That's okay.
He can't.
He can't.
Part of the stipulation now is that you have to schedule it a week in advance. You're cashing.
Oh, that's right. Stupid.
So I mean, he could have said he wanted to do it, on future Dynamite or something like that, or the next pay-per-view.
It would be such an MJF thing to play a clip from a weekend. He's like, I did announce it. See?
Yeah.
But I wonder if they could do something like that. But anyway, back to this match. Really, really good. Really great way to end the show. And the better of the two matches that were going on at this point. Pez, what did you think of the main event?
Yeah, no, hell of a main event. Yeah, these guys beat the shit out of each other. It was very, very intense. Like, Fletcher, he's got a nice, really intense style, and he lays his stuff in. But I'm sure Page would kind of want it that way because he does the same thing. And yeah, I think Hangman gets underrated just as a worker sometimes because he's kind of been known for more of the death match, hardcore brawling stuff, but that dude's a really just good worker, a really good wrestler. And yeah, you put him in there with somebody like that, it's gonna be great. I think it took a while for the crowd to kind of get into it because I think it was the ladder match was crazy and it took them a minute to kind of get hooked. And also I think it's the only thing that was a problem with it is I think it was the same with the Mercedes match, is that I don't think anybody really bought that Fletcher was going to win the world title, so they didn't really quite buy him just getting over the finish line for that. So it just kind of is what it is, but it's still a very good match. The false finishes were good. The dead eye off the top rope was nuts. That looked nasty, just the way he landed and whatnot. So, but yeah, good stuff overall. And I'm glad that it was just like a straight out match. Nobody really interfered from what I can remember, right? Match. So it's okay to have one-on-one matches where somebody loses. It's okay. You don't have to have interference and everything. Somebody can lose. If you have a great match, both guys are going to get over. People are going to look at Fletcher and go, yeah, that guy can hang, with the top of the card, when he needs to. So, we talked about it. Like, he will be a future world champion maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, for sure. Just not quite yet, but he'll be there. I think he's got the tools to get it done. So, but yeah, it was an excellent main event. So a good way to end the show. Just a really good match to end the show. Great wrestling match. A good title defense, clean match. Send the crowd home happy.
Yeah, that guy can hang, man.
Mm-hmm.
Richie.
Yeah, I thought this match was fantastic. It's definitely going to be on one. It's definitely on my basically guess. We're at this point. Don't know where it sits, but it's definitely up there. This match is great. I think Kyle Fletcher has just sort of completely leveled up, and he's always been good, but I never knew he was this good, and I just like his intensity. The way he yells every time he's gonna throw something. Yeah, but it's sort of like a.
I don't mind that because you guys know how much I love Albert, A-Train, and he does the same thing, which so I'm fine with that because wrestling, you're not wrestling in a library. Like, you can add intensity and Mike Bailey kind of does the same shit when he kicks, I'm fine with that. Like, it's not, you don't have to be quiet. Like, make some noise.
Yeah, to a lesser extent, Mark Briscoe, he does.
No, it's great. I think that adds to the match. It's fun.
So I like how they're sort of super protecting the El Generico brainbuster thing that he does, because obviously he went for it, but didn't hit it. So could be I think he'll be champion within maybe couple of years. I think he is right up there. I'm glad,
he's only 26, so he's not even in his prime yet. Like, he's still got time. You know what I mean? Like, he's 26 years old. He's
scary that he's this good already.
Yeah, he's really good at 26. So imagine how good he's going to be at 30. He's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm glad he's got this opportunity. So obviously, I think it was supposed to be Wardlow, which I'm sure they could have had a good house match. But it's cool that he got this opportunity, and I think he leveled up in a lot of people's eyes as well, and showed people that he's there. And I think as a result, whoever beats with the TNT title will actually probably get more of a rub from it if they were prior to this match, because he's kind of he's definitely up more up there now. So fantastic match.
All right, that was and that was the end of All Out. If we had to score it on a 1 to 10, I think I'm there was nothing bad on the show. Couple of them, I'm like, oh, that wasn't great. That probably could have been on Dynamite, but I understand why it was here. So just a really fantastic show. A couple match of the year candidates, anytime you have those, I think it's definitely on the higher end. I think I'm between an 8.5 and a 9. I think it was really good. I think I'll go 8.5. Pez, what about you?
Yeah, that's kind of where I was thinking, that 8.5, 9 territory, because like you said, I think to get it up into that territory, you need at least one match of the year candidate to get it up in there. And we haven't had those in the last 2 pay-per-views or so. They've been really good matches, really solid up and down cards. But we haven't had that one standout match that we would go back and maybe watch again, before the end of the year. I would definitely do that with both the 3-way and the main event, and consider those, on my short list for AEW match of the year. So, really, really good. And even the worst matches per se, the Eddie Kingston one was totally fine while you're watching it for 7 or 8 minutes, no big deal. And Mercedes and stuff, just because it kind of lacked heat, but it was still a good match. All that kind of stuff was still good. So again, AEW delivers on pay-per-view, man. You want to see a lot of really good wrestling. Like you can't go wrong with an AEW pay-per-view. So I don't mind, shelling out the money when we watch them together, because they're usually worth it because you're gonna get a lot of good wrestling. WWE brings the spectacle, but I don't think they've brought that like match of the year quality to a lot of their pay-per-views, like a lot of them kind of lack that one standout match that we talk about at the end of the year. And I think that's the one thing that AEW does have the advantage on right now is like you can look at a card and go like, oh man, that match is probably going to be great, just wrestling wise. And yeah, when you had two of them on here that we'll still be talking about maybe at the end of the year, I think it's a good thing. And yeah, I'm like, I mean, fuck me. If Okada and Takeshita have a match before the end of the year, that could also be like a 5-star banger. So I'm looking forward to that based on what we got in this one, that little bit of that. So they step up the game.
Yeah, Richie?
Yeah, I think I might bolster up to a 9 because I thought this was like multiple like match of the year candidates, and this when your worst match is still passable. I think that's or it's still pretty decent. Like I think that's grounds for a really a really good score, and so really fun show. And it didn't actually feel like overly long like a lot of the other shows do. Which is a plus. So yeah, no, it gets a high mark.
Man, if they would just trim like 2 matches off each of these shows and do like 8 matches instead of like 10, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They would be like super banger, like pacing wise. Like, yeah, like on this one you could have cut like maybe the trios match and like maybe Mercedes and Riho or something like that or whatever, or just a few minutes here and there. And like, man, these this would be fire. It's just always just like 1 match too many or 2 matches too many on these shows. We're just like, get through this one.
I would totally be fine if the TBS championship was only defended on TBS.
Yeah,
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah,
no, that was all out, and I'm gonna level with you guys now. I'm gonna be honest. After Brock Lesnar and John Cena, I tuned out, and I have not gone back and watched. I did see the Jey Uso spot where he messed up with the chair, but other than that, I haven't.
I have one confession. I watched everything except for the main event. I did not see Cody and Drew. So
okay, I'll explain my thing then. But we don't have to go match for match, but I guess Brock and Cena. Don't know why did they have to do it.
Yeah, I don't think we need to go match by match. Let's just do overall thoughts on what we saw. Like that's fine.
If you saw Brock squash Cena before, you didn't miss much.
Yeah,
I don't know why they had to do a retread of SummerSlam 2014. What it was, don't know why they had to do that. That was done. I don't know how Jey Uso got. I had to go back and work out how Jey Uso injured himself. I think that it did what used as a comedy spot. When you
hit the ropes and back up.
Sometimes where he hit the chair and then the chair flung back in his face. He did it for real with the chair hit him in the head, and he got 2 buckets. And so and it made the spear not look as good. Did he catch the edge of the chair, like the back edge of the chair, like into his head? Is that what it was? Yeah.
So that's the same thing that happened with. Do you remember Vince and like the Stephanie and Zach Gallen thing where he got the one drop kick into his face and he caught the corner of the chair like in his head and started bleeding all over the place? Yeah, that could be really dangerous if that happens.
Because it didn't look like it bleeding straight away, but then like when he hit, I think Braun Breaker in the back of the chair, and then you just started seeing. And then then Braun started bleeding in the back. Like, oh no, wait, that's Jey Uso's blood is dripping on. It was gross. But yeah. I guess the big match is the AJ match, right? The AJ Lee match.
How'd she look?
Like I thought it was fun. I thought the match was really fun. I thought they all like. I think you can count Becky to work these. These people who they do really trust Becky to work these. The people coming back, they worked like with Trish, she worked with Lita as well, and then they put together a fun match. I think she looked good, but yeah, it was a well worked well constructed match, and I think the crowd really into it. It should have been the main event. It really should have been the main event. Because but I thought it was a lot of fun, and the main event was Drew and Cody, and apparently Cody was pushing for Drew to win this, but they changed their mind. Don't know why. But yeah, the finish was weird because the Drew went for his claymore to the announce table like he does, and then the ref got in the way, and it was like, and Wade Barrett rightfully was like, "What? Why is the ref getting in the way?" And it's like, "Well, maybe he doesn't want to see Cody get hurt." He was like, "It's a legal move. Why?" And then because Cody had enough time to move out of the way, he moved out of the way, and it hurt his leg, and then Cody hit the crossroads and won. So the referee cost him the match. It's like, what the fuck was that booking? But yeah, Stephanie Vaquer had a really good match with Sky. That she did the spiral tap. I haven't seen that in a while. Spiral tap looked cool. So yeah, that was probably one of the better matches on the show. Is that match? So yeah, not one of the better shows, but there was enough good on there.
Did you see the ESPN writer that gave it like a C and fucking gave it a pretty bad review? That was hilarious.
That was fun.
ESPN show. Yeah, and then they eventually pulled it, but like it was up for a day or two before they pulled it. It was very funny.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. No, I thought it was funny. What did you think of what you saw?
Yeah, I just because it was just trickier for me to fit into my schedule because I had to watch it on my laptop with the VPN thing on like the Netflix set. I sent it to Canada, so I had to watch it on there, which is a pain in the ass because I'd rather watch it on my big screen, like I used to for Peacock or whatever. But so this is gonna be more of a pain in the ass going forward, just having to sit down on my laptop and watch it. But yeah, I mean. Brock looked good. I mean, he's still shredded for, as up there as he is in age. Like, he looks amazing. But yeah, if you were just going to do the same squash match that he seems to do every time, kind of like Goldberg, it's like, I don't really see what the point was, if he's just going to come in there and they're each just going to spam their finisher 100 times, Brock's going to hit 5 F5, Cena's gonna hit 3 or 4 AAs, that's all we're gonna do, and 8 minutes later it's gonna be over. Like, I don't know what the point was. Let's just say it was not one of the highlights of Cena's run so far. I've enjoyed more of like the back half, the stuff with Logan, or the second match he had with Cody, and the match you will probably have with AJ will be much better. It'll be a much more good back and forth match. So I'm much more looking forward to that. And then, I mean, the Usos thing was fine. Good to see Vision, get a strong win. They look strong. I don't know what was the goofy green shirts the Usos were wearing. That was weird. Like the matching shirt things they were wearing. I don't know what. I don't know. It looked weird. But match of the night 100% was Io and Stephanie. I thought they threw down. I wasn't, I predicted Io, but like we said with the, Briscoe being MJF, or Chris Statlander winning the title. Like, I'm more than happy that Stephanie won. Like, she's been killing it lately the last couple of years, so I have no problem with her doing it. I just thought they would just hold off just a little bit longer, until like early next year. Maybe have her win the Rumble or something like that. And then get the title shot.
She's not my pick anymore.
Yeah. I was to say she kind of was my pick going into that, because I thought they would just set her up for the big title shot. But hey, I'm not opposed to it. She's over. She's having great matches, and I tell you what, who's sneakily Io Sky, you can make an argument for Wrestler of the Year.
Yeah, as far as match quality,
match quality, she's had banger after banger after banger. And WWE, she's one of the more consistent people that has amazing matches. If you look at the two 3-way she was involved in, the one-on-one stuff, the one-on-one match with Rhea Ripley, this one, all the different random matches. She's going to have a match with Asuka soon, obviously. That's going to be awesome. You can make an argument, at least on the WWE side of things, that you can make an argument for Wrestler of the Year on WWE. So, I mean, I'm just saying she's in that conversation with the because she's one of the more fun people to watch right now. So,
and it's also just good to see the spiral tap. I haven't seen the spiral tap in ages.
I think AJ went on Twitter was like, it's not technically the spiral tap because she jumped from the backwards position and I used to jump from the front position. So it was kind of similar enough. Because he used to do like the front spin in the spiral tap. So, but still, it looked great. Yeah, she nailed it like perfectly too. So, yeah, good on her. So yeah, that was match of the night easily. That's worth going either way to see, Jacob, if you didn't see anything else. We're at least watch that match. That match was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could probably pretty much. I mean, yeah, watch the AJ Lee stuff because I think it was all right. I thought it was a little too long, like maybe 5-10 minutes too long. Just me personally, a little overstuffed with things, but still well structured to where the crowd got like super into it. It was just very sports entertainment, laid out, which was fine. So I mean, it's what they do, but that's why it should have been the main event because they had all their typical booking stuff that they do in the match. You know what I mean? So it should have been that because the crowd, it was kind of designed to get the crowd most into it. And then, like I said, I did not see Drew and Cody. So, but I just, unless Drew would have won the title, I probably would have gone back and watched it. So if he had won the title, I would have gone back and watched it. But I was hoping that Drew would they would at least give Drew a legitimate, I just wish he would get a legitimate title run at some point, Like
he deserves it.
Legit one, yeah, he deserves it. So rather than just these little short ones, so.
But when I heard it was the main event, I'm like, oh, okay, it's Drew winning because that usually means something big.
That's what I was saying. Oh, it's gonna be the main. Okay, maybe he'll actually win, and they'll end on a crazy, a nice surprise, and he'll get his little run. But no, didn't happen. just Cody retains again. So,
okay.
All right.
You're risking him getting booed. Just saying.
You're risking him. You're diminishing his quality every time he loses these big matches, and he talks as much shit as he talks, and he can't back it up in the ring. Every time he loses the big one. So, yeah, he's getting less and less legitimate on the microphone when he does that too. So, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, overall, like if I had to give it a score out of 10, it'd be like 6.5, something like that. It's not horrible, but it was very sports entertainment. Triple H said it was the final form of sports entertainment, whatever that means.
I don't know what the fuck that means, right, Co?
I don't know what that means. Yeah, and like, oh yeah, we forgot to re-mention it again. Yeah, Stephanie McMahon's going into the Hall of Fame. Undertaker announced it as a surprise. So
yeah. And I guess it was just like because Triple H last year got surprised by it, so he's like returning the favor.
Yeah, he's returning the favor to Stephanie. So sure, why not? Yes.
Dude,
I don't think she'll be like the headliner. I don't,
Yeah, people are whinging because she's like, oh, the headliner. I'm like, she's not going to be the headliner.
She's not going to be the headliner.
It probably might be John Cena, but anyway.
Maybe it'll finally be Batista.
Or John. I would think it'd be Batista or John Cena most likely because Batista, especially since the weight loss, he's not coming back. You know what I mean? Like he's done, and it would make sense if he could be a headliner. Like if you put him in, he could be the headline guy. Or if Cena wanted to do it, it'd be either one of them. I would think.
Yeah.
So yeah, Stephanie will be like the semi-main event. You know what I mean? She'll be the one under that. That's fine.
Yeah. I found it funny. It was like, we've had a lot of history together, right? We're close. It's like, dude, he tried to. Didn't he try to sacrifice you at one point?
Well, it's weird that Triple H and Undertaker both have illegitimate marriages to Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
Or at least Undertaker attempted one. Oh, she was tied up to a symbol, and still Steve Austin had to save her. So, and then Triple H did it while she was, on some stuff.
Getting married to Test.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been a little odd. Hey, Steph, remember when I tied you to my symbol and tried to do like a ritual marriage to you with Paul Bearer? Hey, that was crazy, wasn't it? Weren't the 90s weird? 90s wrestling.
So it's like, well, yeah, when Undertaker came out, what Undertaker? Is he going to? I swear he was going to be like, I'm going to have a match at Saudi.
Yeah, he probably would if they paid him enough money. They give him $1 million, he'd probably wrestle again. Yeah. I'd be interested to see who they pay for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
If they're having WrestleMania in Saudi, who are they paying to be there, like for special matches? Are they going to request John Cena, even though he's going to be officially retired, to have another WrestleMania match and go back on it twice in a lifetime?
Are they gonna? Have they heard the news about Hulk Hogan? Are they gonna request Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan and the Iron Sheik. Run it back.
Yeah.
Uh,
But legit, yeah, they're going to be throwing around a lot of money for that. So some people, I mean, in a way, you know that everybody's going to get like the biggest payday of their career who's on that show, you know, because not only do they get the WrestleMania payday, but Saudi's going to throw in extra money for everything, I'm sure, you know, because they're going to be footing the bill. So,
Yeah.
you know, like they're all going to have insane paydays, you know, like people who are in the main event might get 7-figure paydays. People even just on the undercard will probably get 6-figure paydays, you know, to be on the show. Like, so they'll be happy with the money, but yeah, that's just be weird, you know, just overall. It'd be strange.
For the record, I'll give it a 6 as well. It's a fine show. A 6, which will be almost like a C.
That's what the ESPN guy gave it.
Yeah, well, fuck him for being honest.
Yeah, Jacob, I would say if you missed the show, beyond that, if you just go back and watch for the match quality, watch Stephanie and Io. That's worth seeing. And for maybe the spectacle of it, yeah, the AJ Lee thing was okay. What it was, very sports entertainment, but you know, not bad. And you could probably skip Cody and Drew. It's not their best encounter, so it's fine.
Yeah, well, that was our reviews of AEW and Wrestlepalooza. One obviously a little bit better than the other as far as
if you want the match quality, go back and watch All Out. Yeah, 100%. It's good stuff.
We'll be back next week. PWI has dropped their top 500, and as always, we do a little drafty draft based off that list. So it'll be a little bit different this time. We'll tell you next week though, because it's getting late, you guys, and some of us have to work in the morning, and some of us have been sitting in a metal chair for a little over 2 hours now. Richie, between now and next week, where can people find you?
I was just going to say, thankfully, it looks like there's not going to be dual shows for
a
little while. Yeah.
I need to talk about
Crown Jewel is the 11th, and Wrestle Dreams.
Wrestle Dreams the 18th. Yeah, so that's what we got in October.
All right, let's do a bunch of it. But yeah.
That's why next week is a perfect opportunity to do the draft, because there's no reviews or predictions. Next week we have an open. We could just do news and a big draft. So yeah.
So
and you'll be here, Jacob. So we got to do the draft while you're here. Yeah, we got to do it.
Well, you can find me. Before this, I did Wheel of Movies in tribute to Robert Redford. We did Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. First time watching that, I hadn't seen that. That was a good watch. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, you can watch the stuff, break it down there on the Movie Hero Network channel there. And you can, speaking of Movie Hero Network, you can catch me on 25 tier ranker when I can there. On JPS channel at PSCO sometimes when he does trivia, does drafts. We did it. I did a couple of the ABC drafts there with Jacob Bauer as well, and so I will and so I pop around here and there ranking, so I'm there. I'm out and about.
Yeah, Pez.
Yeah, mostly over on the Movie Hero Network, co-hosting or hosting all the stuff over there. I'll be hosting the mystery blind voting tournament tomorrow night. I'll be on Ryan Permerson's And I Quote channel doing another watch along tomorrow night before that tournament for Sicario for the 10th anniversary, one of my favorite movies of the 2010s. I love me some Sicario, so we'll be talking about that. And then the Monthly Mistake over on Wolfman's channel. I forget, he changed the name of it recently. I'm forgetting what he changed it to. So I gotta get used to the new name. But we'll be doing our Monthly Mistake drinking game to The Strangers Chapter 1 in honor of Strangers Chapter 2? Question mark? Kind of. Which apparently which is apparently even worse than Chapter 1 somehow, even with all the reshoots. So from what I'm hearing, that it just has even more baffling decisions throughout the entire movie. So in a way, I'm excited to watch it now. I want to see how bad it can get. But you know, me and my fascination with bad movies. So it's weird that movie is getting all the bad reviews and Gabby's Dollhouse is fresh on Rotten Tomatoes right now. That's odd. But,
I have to say,
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. The world is weird. So, yeah, that's what I got going on. So, yeah, good times. Yeah, I haven't even looked at that PWI list, so I'll have to look at it and kind of map out our stuff. But yeah, we're gonna do. I know we talked about behind the scenes. We'll probably finalize it after the show. Yeah, as far as what we're exactly gonna do, how we'll lay it out. It should be fun.
Yeah, it should be fun. It's always fun to do a little draft. Thankfully, this time though, the drafts aren't for points throughout a weekly scoring system, because if it was, I'd probably lose that too. I'd probably be in last place, just like I am now. I won the first one. I don't know what happened. I thought I drafted really well. I drafted Okada.
And once I get my my holiday bonus, I'm just short on money right now. Once I get a holiday bonus, I'm gonna send you that Amazon card. I promise, Jacob. That I promised you, so I will. Just remind me, and then that way you can use it for Christmas stuff when we get closer to that. So there you go.
Yeah, we're gonna draft, and I thought I drafted well. I drafted Okada because he's a champion and he wins a lot. I drafted Swerve, but then it's like, oh, guess what? I'm actually injured, so you know what? I'm gonna go away for a while. Haha, you gotta drop me. And then Juice
Robinson just came back. He's gonna get pushed.
Back. I'm gonna get pushed. No, just kidding. Juice, the Juice is not loose. The Juice is I'm gonna lose to Big Bill on Collision. Oh, that was fantastic. I love that. Man.
I'm gonna draft the Outrunners because there's nobody else to draft, and I'm out of options.
It was so fantastic. It was such a good draft. Thank you, Luchasaurus, for not being kill switch anymore.
Yeah.
I love drafts. I love drafting though. I mean, drafting is a lot of fun. That's what it should be fun. I'm gonna draft based off my heart and not my head, because that's what gets you ahead in life. Is drafting with your heart and not your head. Don't draft based off what you think is going to happen, because what you think is going to happen doesn't actually happen.
You know what he's doing.
Yeah, I know. Well, but what about I mean, if we had a draft, from the PWI 500, what would you do, Jacob? I mean, would you go with those mid-card guys?
I mean, it would depend, because it's like who's in that top range. I think those are the guys to look at, because the PWI, it's mostly a kayfabe list. It's based off accomplishments, and a Jey Uso, for example, he's not